Hi, I'm Jacob, and welcome to Sunday Yap Session, a series where hopefully every Sunday I am going to come on here and yap at y'all. And just talk about being alive, being a 26-year-old, being queer, living life, so on and so forth. We're drinking a Red Bull today, not sponsored. If you feel like subscribing, that would mean the world to me. Hopefully this will be something that is going to be regularly coming out, and I would love to connect with y'all in the comments below. I haven't really made any content on this channel yet, kind of introducing myself, talking about who I am. So I kind of want to do that, and I also want to kind of lay out like what my goals and intentions for this channel are, because if you see by the handful of uploads that I've uploaded already, there isn't really a consistent theme, and that's something that I kind of want to change. I want to have more of a thesis for this channel, and it's just not there yet because I'm doing this in my spare time. So yeah, let's just get into the introduction. So my name is Jacob. I'm 26 years old. I'm Black, if that isn't obvious. I live in the Midwest. I'm non-binary. I'm queer, which means I'm living in misery. Not really. I like my life a lot of the time. And you might be familiar with me from TikTok. I go by midwestsidegunn over there, and I've amassed a decent little following over there. And similarly to what you're seeing on this channel, because a lot of this channel has just been TikTok re-uploads, I kind of make a little bit of everything. And I don't know if that's ever going to change, and that's kind of why I'm interested in doing this format, because the theme is yapping, but there will be a different theme each time. But I'm someone who's genuinely just so interested in everything, and I feel like you can see that reflected in my content. Sometimes I'm talking about politics and world issues. Sometimes I'm doing vinyl unboxings. Sometimes I'm showing you what I cooked this week. And that's just kind of my personality in general. I am just such a genuinely curious person. I love learning. There are very few things in this world that are uninteresting to me, and there is something I can find interesting in every topic. So if that's something you appreciate, you are in the right place, because that is that is probably going to be a lot of what happens here, is just me picking a topic or a handful of topics and kind of just going to town on them. And so to kind of like drill in on that more, being that sporadic and being kind of all over the place obviously isn't like the greatest strategy when it comes to building a following on the internet. I think a lot of people come to places and they want to know what they're getting, and I mean, hopefully you're just here for me. That's the goal. I want to put myself out there more and just be the interest, but I also understand that, you know, people want to know what they're getting into. And I'm really trying to shift my content a little bit because, like I said, it has been so sporadic and all over the place. And not that that isn't real and not that that isn't who I am, but I do think I want to kind of start making things that are a little bit more authentic and more just like my personality, my lived experiences, so on and so forth. Because I know that like a big part of me crafting this person that I am and being happy with who I am and feeling comfortable living the life I live, especially where I live, where it's not the safest place to do so, is the fact that there were so many people online that were being really transparent, being really open about being themselves, and kind of just talking about their lives and being real. And I know that like, I think more than ever in a social media era where everyone's trying to sell you a product or put you onto a course or getting you to subscribe to something or use a TikTok shop and an affiliate code and so on and so forth, there really is like a need that I feel too for just like real people, real content, not trying to like swindle you or get you to buy something. And that's something I really want to kind of narrow in as well. And that doesn't mean that there won't be like sponsorships or things like that on this channel at some point. Hopefully I get to that point, because I would love for this to be my job. That'd be really cool. But for now, yeah, I just want to focus on like talking about my experiences, talking about my life, talking about what's going on in the world too. And especially as like a mid-20 something who has kind of like started their life in such a tumultuous time, graduating college into a pandemic, witnessing an ongoing genocide, horrible things going on in the world, the American project just like showing its ass in a lot of ways, and everything kind of in many ways going to crap, has been a really challenging time to navigate. So I think part of it is just kind of wanting to speak candidly about that too, because I don't really see a lot of that, and it kind of confuses me. I know that like obviously people aren't coming online and like bearing their soul out every time they post something, and like I don't know, no one wants to like go online and just like be sad all the time. But I feel like at least among my peers and the people I see, there is such like an attitude that like everything's cool, we're just chilling, I'm living my life, life's amazing, and like there aren't a ton of people that are really just like being open about the fact that like, yeah, it's tough and there's a lot of hard things to navigate out here. So I kind of want to do that as well, especially as a neurodivergent person too, which we might get into in this channel. I considered talking about that on TikTok quite a bit, but like honestly, I'm not gonna get into specifically what my diagnoses are, but I will say that I know that I feel like we're in like a mental health era where everyone cares about mental health, and I feel like that only goes so far. I feel like a lot of the more messy, less glamorous aspects of mental health are still very stigmatized, and as much as people want to say they care about mental health and all of that, like when things aren't pretty, I think it still is pretty cutthroat in a lot of ways. So I'm probably not going to get into the specifics of what I've got going on up here, but at some point we'll probably talk about that too, because that's a big part of my life as well. But yeah, outside of the those doom and gloom things, what else? I'm really big into houseplants. You probably will see those. You can see one right here. That's a big one of my hobbies, and that'll probably come up on here. Like I mentioned, record collecting. I love records. I'm looking at my record collection. It's right in front of me right now. Really big into music, really big into culture, black stuff, of course, and just building my enclosure, aka my apartment, which I'll probably show at some point. I'd be spending a lot of time here, especially with the ongoing pandemic and my life kind of becoming more at home than it was in the past. I really have had a lot of fun kind of building this space for myself. So maybe we'll get into that as well. And I really do want to use this as like a place of connection too. Like I kind of mentioned earlier, like so much of who I am has been influenced by the internet and people coming on here and being real. And I've been able to find so much community, especially on TikTok, with other Black people, other queer people, other neurodivergent people, and someone living in the Midwest in a very, very, very homogenous area. There are not a lot of people like me, and I've been so grateful for the community that I've built on the internet. So I really want this to be a place too where we can really genuinely connect, really just like talk our shit. Build community and spend time with each other and stuff too. So I'm really going to be intentional about trying to like connect with whatever size audience I build here. And if that's 10 people or if it's 10 million people, I'm still going to keep it 100. And I'm really grateful for the community that I've been able to build kind of on TikTok so far. If you aren't following me on there, shameless plug, that is where I'm posting a lot of my content. I am trying to kind of transition that over to here though, especially in, I guess what this is now going to become a rant about what I don't like about TikTok and why I'm trying to shift. Given the title of this series, it should be abundantly obvious that I am someone who loves to talk. I am a certified yapper. I will talk your ear off about anything and everything. I love talking and I love connecting with people. And like I said, I have been able to do that on TikTok, but I feel like as things go on and everything comes about TikTok Shop and everything is about pushing a code and they want videos to be shorter and shorter and shorter, and I feel like the attention spans over there in general are just shorter. I don't really feel like it's the greatest space to kind of build that. And I've been experiencing that too. I feel like every time I post something, I'm trying to like shave it down and make it as short as possible. And that kind of leads to nuance being lost and like disclaimers being lost. And then people get mad that there isn't enough nuance. But then if I post something that's longer than a minute, people aren't even going to watch the entire thing. YouTube has historically always been the place where I go for watching long form content. Every time Jenny Nicholson drops like a 4.5 hour long video, I am ecstatic and I will be sat watching the whole thing. So I think it's just really in my best interest to kind of go where I know that people are interested and spending a long amount of time on here, really getting into topics and not just like surface level, quick kind of like, like, I guess that's how I view TikTok in my mind is, But yeah, everything over there is just like so fast and I'm a slow person. I need to kind of take my time explaining things. I need to explore every avenue. I gotta get into the nuance. I gotta get into the caveats, and TikTok just like really isn't the space for that. I'll probably continue to post on there, but like I would love for YouTube to be my new home. And that's where my interest in like making video and stuff really started actually. And I really want to get back to being on YouTube because I've been on here for a long time in various capacities. Like I think my first YouTube video I uploaded, I was like probably like 10 or something. So making videos online has really been like a big part of my life, and like TikTok really is the first place where like any of it has gotten any sort of like major attention, which is really cool, and I'm grateful for that regardless of how long it took. But it's been an ongoing goal, and it's always been the goal to kind of like get back on YouTube and really try and really be like really real and really connecting with people on here. I feel like so much of the content I've made in the past or I've made on TikTok and stuff is like me talking about things, and it's not really like led by me. It's not about me. It's me talking about something else. And so I really want to kind of like do that here, because I do feel like I have an interesting and a unique perspective. I have a lot of life experiences that we'll talk about, the good, the bad, and the ugly, some funny, some messy, some drama. Hopefully we'll get into all of it throughout the time. So yeah, I think that's a good place to end it right now. Hopefully I will be back next Sunday and we'll talk about something else, something hopefully a little bit more narrow in focus. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, if you are interested in subscribing, I would love it if you do so. I'll put my other socials in the caption or the bio below, so you can find me on TikTok and Instagram. TikTok is where I'm most active at the moment. Instagram is kind of where I just post my TikToks like an hour or two after the fact. But I really am going to try to make a conscious effort to be on here. At the end of this, there will probably be some other videos that it's going to recommend you to watch. The Chicago vlog, that video is good. That video is good, and it deserves attention because I put a lot of hard work into that. So give that a watch. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you watched this, I'm gonna go finish my Red Bull and go about my day. And thanks for yapping with me.